Do dooby doo dooby doo dooby doo dooby doo dooby doo dooby doo. Yes, this is about that movie, but yes, there's at least 2 postscripts. Keep watching till the end of the video, you'll find out what they are. Right, hello there, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knick-Knack. I'm also occasionally referred to as @MrCuddy2977, and I run the blog, Knick-Knack's Old Peculiar, and of course the YouTube channel, @MrCuddy2977. I will try and put links into more of my content up here in the little eye, and I will also try and put in a link to my PayPal Me account. So if you like what you see today, and like anything else I've uploaded or written on the blog, you can feel free to donate. I run a Mac on this money, and it ain't enough. With the blatant commercialism out of the way, my name is Paul, as I've already told you, and I do daily teasers. They're a set of fun daily brain teaser quizzes. I do TV reviews. I recently watched Series 3 of Picard and Series 3 of For All Mankind, and I'll try and throw those in as well, so you can explore that lot and see what you think of what I thought of them. But I also review movies as well. The last thing I saw was a documentary called Doctor Who Am I, which was, from a fan's perspective, a fascinating thing to watch. I also saw In the Earth as well, which is very, 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 very strange. Last night, however, was Sunday the 7th of May. Tonight is Monday the 8th of May, and this is when it will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. Last night I managed to see the biopic, I suppose you could call it, of Mr. Henk Rogers of Bulletproof Software, and a game he managed to import from Russia called Tetris. I wanted you to know what I thought of the film. Based on the history of the hit game Tetris, Tetris opens with a brief animation reminding us that the year is 1988, and the initial narration from Henk Rogers, played by Taron Egerton of Bulletproof Software, is trying at the Consumer Electronics Show with very little success to show his newest game, Go. And he's doing so with such a resounding lack of success that his aide has disappeared off to a rival stand to play the latest in video games, a pirated Russian thing called Tetris. It's something Henk rapidly finds that he gets hooked on. And in a meeting with his bank manager, Eddie Ryun, Henk has to confess that he's managed to spend a fortune to get the Japanese rights for the game before he's paid back the loan on his failed version of Go. Eddie is understandably sceptical and deeply reluctant when Henk tells his bank manager that he, Henk, is going to earn a fortune. All the manager has to do is loan Henk a few more gazillion before Henk takes a set of trips to London, Japan and Moscow by way of Nintendo's American HQ in Seattle. They've got something they want him to look at. Now, what did I make of Tetris? The film, that is. I really should spend less time with the game. It's a little bit addictive, as those of us who played it may realise. I've got a couple of questions about Tetris, the film. Firstly, is Tetris accurate? Is it an authentic retelling of the early history of the Tetris game and how it came to the West? I don't know that I could tell you. I have got dim and distant memories of Tetris from Russia with Love, the BBC documentary about the game's history. I've got very dim and distant memories, and those memories tell me that this film's basic story is reasonably accurate, but I honestly couldn't be sure. Especially given that whenever someone makes a movie like this, a movie that's based on true events, we have to assume that there's a certain amount of fudging going on, a certain amount of massaging, if for no other reason than to keep the cost down by melding a few characters together and not hiring as many actors, and or shortening the runtime. There's a postscript about that. So, at any rate, accuracy. I don't know if Tetris, the film, is accurate to its sources, to the game's history. I couldn't tell you. My second question, is Tetris, the film, entertaining? Does it have an exciting story? Does it have a story that's fast-paced, comprehensible, and engaging? Yes, it does. Right from the start, when Egerton reels us in with a fairground-style opening speech and then throws us into a plot with a minimum of fuss and a huge amount of charisma, and by narrating each change in scene, each change in act, as the film bookmarks each act with a slew of 8-bit animation. It tells us it's level 1, level 2, level 3, what have you. It keeps us engaged, tells us what's happening, and it's kind of the equivalent for a streaming service. It's on Apple TV Plus, so it's streamed, is the way I saw it, and those level breaks give us a chance to maybe pause the film and go to the toilet, which helps. But the structure and the engagingness of it does help, as do the performance. I think I've mentioned that Egerton has a pile of charisma as Hank Rogers. He really is quite something to watch. He puts in a great turn as the central character, as does Nikita Efremov, and my apologies to the man for my pronunciation there. I don't actually speak Russian. But his performance as Alexei Pajitnov, the man who invented Tetris, the game, he's great. He's very sympathetic. And you can see how much danger he's in part by his performance. Igor Grabazov as the corrupt Valentin Trifonov, and Sofia Lebedeva as the idealistic KGB plant, Sasha, were both fantastic. If you've ever wondered what a Soviet version of a Nazi Gestapo officer would look like, it's Grabazov as Valentin Trifonov. The real star of the show, though, the real absolute glued to your seat performance, was Roger Allam as the late and very unlamented Robert Maxwell. Between Allam's performance, his voice and his makeup, we had the real villain of Tetris, and I have to wonder how much fun he had playing that part. I really do. Couple those performances and a good story, and an interesting one with some dramatic action at the film's climax and one hell of a car chase thrown in, I can only ask and then answer one last pair of paired questions. Is Tetris a good film? Is it entertaining? Frankly, the answer to both is absolutely yes. You will have a great time watching Tetris. I will see you next time I review a film or TV show. I hope you'd like to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because that way YouTube will tell you when I release another piece. And I will see you the next time I see you. Have a very good day. Have a very good time. Be seeing you. Right, just as the first postscript or footnote, if I've understood the film industry correctly, studios tend to prefer films that are shorter, around 90 minutes to 2 hours long, is something rather than something that's a Fellowship of the Ring-sized 3 hours. They tend to prefer shorter rather than longer, unless they've got very good reason to go for something that length. In the space of 3 hours, you can show Fellowship of the Rings, for example, once, and a 90-minute movie twice. Studios can therefore basically make their money back quicker with a shorter film. Right, I have to admit, I spent most of the film wondering where on earth I knew Allam's voice from. It's the one thing about him I recognised him. The Maxwell makeup and costume, in fact, it makes him literally, visually, unrecognisable. Then I realised where I knew his voice from. I'd seen him as Louis Prothero in V for Vendetta. I have to admit sometimes it does take me a while.